Chit-Chat with Double V with host Vivian Velez is a program that breaks down important national concerns, events, and stories, featuring newsmaker interviews and compelling features to add context, clarity, and answer the questions on your mind. Every Sundays from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. on Radio Bandido TV, Channel 224 Sky Cable, TV Plus boxes, 𝗖𝗵𝗶𝘁 Easy Box, and all DTT boxes. Simulcast on DZRJ 8:10 a.m. Seen on Facebook /DZRJ 8:10 a.m. and YouTube channel DZRJ 8:10 a.m. Radio Bandido.
And we are live. Maraming salamat po sa pag-tune in natin this afternoon. A wonderful Sunday, mga ka-chit-chat. Ito po si Vivian Velez, ang inyong kakwentuhan sa inyong weekly Sunday, ang Chit-Chat with Double V. At sumasa inyo kami live dito sa DZRJ Radio Bandido TV. For today, isa na naman pong relevant topic ang ating pagkukwentuhan na makakasama natin ang ating co-host na si Raymond Diamzon.
A wonderful Sunday to you, Vibs. Sa ating mga ka-chit-chat, tama ka, no? Bukod sa exciting, informative at empowering din ang inyong mapapanood today. But before that, isang maligayang araw ng mga nanay sa aking pinakamamahal na ina, Miss Marita Diamzon. And of course sa iyo, Vibs, may pinakamamahal kong kaibigan, Vivian. And to my aunt, Deding Plata, cousins, Cecil Tinalot, Tita Noemi, Cheche, Len, Miss Mary Lamasan, and Mariami Domingo. Maraming happy Mother's Day sa inyong lahat mga nakikinig.
Happy Mother's Day. Binabati natin ang lahat ng, anong tawag doon? Ilaw ng tahanan.
Yes.
Ayan.
Tama.
Oo. At talaga naman nasa-celebrate natin ito ng gusto, no? Monch. At makikita natin sa labas. It's so nice to see that I was able to go out kanina. So talaga namang nasa-celebrate nila ang kanilang mga mothers. Well, us mothers. Okay. Okay, Monch, wag na natin patagalin at very interesting ang ating topic for today.
Yes, pagpapatuloy natin mga ka-chit-chat ng National Heritage Month celebration ngayong Mayo. Isa sa pinakamahalagang pook sa bansa ang pag-uusapan natin. So kanina nasabi natin Mother's Day. So itong lugar na to, in a way mother din siya ng bansa, no? Kasi kapitolyo siya ng ating Pilipinas, ang Maynila. Yes. Siya ang sentro ng kasaysayan, kalakalan at samusaring pamanang Pinoy. Para samahan tayo sa mahalagang diskusyong ito, we have as our guests accomplished professionals in heritage protection in the city of Manila. Our first guest is Mr. John Paul Arcilla, or Rancho for short, mula sa Intramuros Administration. Siya ang chairperson ng Technical Committee on Architectural Standards of Intramuros. As chairperson, ino-oversee ni Mr. Arcilla ang pagre-review ng lahat ng development ng Walled City or Intramuros, pati ang new constructions nito. Bukod dyan, nagsisilbi din siyang Senior Tourism Operations Officer at Section Head ng Archives and Central Record Station ng Naturak Ahensya. Our second guest naman is Mr. 𝗖𝗵𝗶𝘁, isang cultural worker and entrepreneur na kumakatawan sa Manileños for Heritage. Project manager din siya ng Philippine Registry of Cultural Property Office ng National Commission for Culture and the Arts. Naging aktibo siya sa revival efforts ng mga distrito sa Maynila kagaya ng Escolta, Quiapo, Binondo at San Nicolas. Welcome to the program, gentlemen.
Welcome to the program. I know it's Sunday, Mother's Day then. And thank you for really gracing our program. Napaka-importante na itong ating pag-uusapan. Umpisahan natin kay Sir John. Ano ba ang mandate ng iyong administrasyon?
Magandang hapon sa inyo pong lahat. So, ang mandate po ng Intramuros Administration is basically dalawa. So, to restore and to develop Intramuros. So, to restore meaning to restore kung ano yung nag-exist pa na historical fabric since since the end of the war, and
Yes.
develop, looking forward to the future. How can we develop the district para mag-iitong isang monument sa ating kasaysayan, para ito maging isang living heritage community, para ito ay maging isang future-proof na heritage site.
Okay, Sir John, what does Intramuros symbolizes ba? Bakit ito significant sa atin at bakit napaka-importante ng Intramuros?
In our history po sa ating kasaysayan, yung may tinatawag kasi tayong national and local history, no? So, in Intramuros kasi, may blur between local and national kasi yung mga local history ng Intramuros is actually national history dahil lahat ng mga desisyon na naganap noong colonial na panahon, yung lahat ng mga mahalagang mga events, mga very important na mga kasaysayan, naganap dito sa Intramuros. And I'm actually confident in saying na kung yung mga Romans ay mayroong Rome at ang mga Jews naman ay may Jerusalem, ang mga Pilipino mayroong Intramuros. Ganun siya kahalaga sa ating kasaysayan. And ito yung talagang ating, kumbaga, kung mayroong mga heritage sites, kung mayroong pantheon ng mga heritage sites, Intramuros ang pinaka nasa taas.
I think it was the seat of power, di ba? Nung, I mean, the 1571 ba yun? Nung, when it was really built, di ba? Yun ang parang, it was really, it was meant to be that, no? But, ikaw, Ma'am Monch, what symbolize, anong symbol sa iyo ng Intramuros?
Well, tama ka, Vigs, no? Ang Intramuros kasi ginawa yan, meaning inside the walls. Muros
Within the wall,
walls.
yes.
So parang, in a way, hindi maganda yung simbolo niya nung una dahil parang sineseparate yung mga so-called Indio o lesser citizens and yung mga Kastila. But over the years, nung nawala yung mga Kastila, na-adapt na natin yan. And in fact, the fact na parang naging confluence siya of iba't ibang kultura, iba't ibang mga settlers, naging simbolo na rin siya ng parang ating resilience bilang isang bansa sa mga iba't ibang dagok ng kasaysayan kasi nung nabanggit nga ni Sir Rancho kanina, no, yung World War II, sobrang nagibayan, pero lagi siyang bumabalik, nare-reconstruct kagaya ng ating kaugalian bilang Pinoy na nagiging resilient tayo.
And then si Stephen naman, what, kasi, you know, I want to find out, kasi yung, sa Intramuros kasi iba-iba, di ba? Monch, kung paano natin sinisimbolize ang Intramuros, because without even understanding what it symbolizes, parang hindi natin talaga mabigyan ng importansya, no? Para sa akin kasi, you know, as a conquered nation, parang ano to you know, it's a chilling, parang it reminds us, di ba, of our fallen heroes and how we conquered, no? Kasi Spanish and then yung Japanese, di ba, Monch?
Yes.
I think naging ano yan, garrison pa yan, di ba? And yes, and of course, when I walk into Intramuros kasi nakikita mo pa yon kung saan yung mga selda, and definitely of course Jose Rizal, di ba? Si Jose Rizal was doon siya talaga, he was jailed, di ba, in Intramuros. Before we go on with yung kay Sir John, ikaw naman, Stephen, what symbolizes Intramuros for you? Ano ang symbol na?
Okay, for me, kung idadagdagan ko yung sinabi ni John, ni Rancho, it's more of, it's a monument to our national and local history na kumbaga dapat maging proud tayo doon. Kasi typically, I think, ang napapansin ko pagdating sa turismo natin sa Pilipinas, people would just go to Manila just as a jump-off point to other places. For example, if you're a foreigner, you go elsewhere, you go to Boracay na kasi you look for the white sand beaches. Parang sa akin, ang opinion ko dyan, sana let's give it a fighting chance or a second chance in Manila, and at least yung first step mo to really understand the history of Manila and in extension the brief history about the Philippines is to really know it within the walls of Intramuros. Kasi within the walls, nandun lahat ng kwento. na bagamat yun nga, maraming pinagdaanan yung Intramuros nung panahon ng gera and all these mga conflicts, it still survived as a parang resilient form of heritage natin. It still stands there as a living testament. Tayo rin, an extension as Filipinos, we can also be resilient, just as the walls have survived during the war. So something like that.
Yeah, because sa akin naman kasi it's also because of the, yung it inspires us, di ba? When we look at it. So Sir John, are you I know maraming how do we gauge na kung talagang yung medyo yung measurement ng ating success in preserving Intramuros? How do you gauge? Paano ba yan? Are you already satisfied or
well, a lot can still be improved. Marami pa po malaki pa po ang room for improvement. But definitely, in the 4 decades of the existence of the Intramuros administration, I'd say that we have accomplished a lot. No, marami na tayong na-develop, marami na tayong na-reconstruct, and over the years, we have actually garnered a lot of awards. No, so we, to be honest, napakahirap i-measure kung yung success. Pero kasi, if we're going to look back, so for example, in 2015, we got the Patrimonio Award from Spain, and then and for 4 times actually, we have won Asia's Leading Tourist Attraction Award, and twice as 4 times as Asia's Leading Tourist Attraction Award. So I think we're going in the right direction. So and of course, in terms of administrative naman, administratively, we are also doing well kasi the Intramuros administration is also ISO certified. So talagang we are confident na we are performing excellently. But of course, we do acknowledge there's still a lot of room for improvement, and we are open to suggestions, and we are open to recommendations, and we are really open, lalo na pag may mga complaints and kung may mga other comments. Of course, we need, aside from the positive feedback, we also need negative feedback so that we can improve.
Yeah, I'd also like to ask then kay Sir Rancho, ngayon, kaluluklok lang, kasi yung episode natin previously, we had Dr. Ivan Henares, and kaluluklok lang niya bilang Secretary General ng UNESCO Philippine National Commission. So sabi niya, part of the benefits ng kanyang bagong posisyon is to help push districts and places in the Philippines for declaration bilang World Heritage Site. Sa tingin mo ba makakatulong itong magandang balitang ito para yung distrito ng Intramuros, yung kabuuhan niya, kagaya ng Vigan, ay ma-declare sa UNESCO bilang World Heritage Site?
Of course, kailangan talaga, ito kasing mga declarations na ito, on a positive side, it's very important yung merit, So if a certain heritage site deserves it, then it will be declared as a World Heritage Site. And we are confident naman na there is merit in Intramuros, na if ever man ma-nominate siya again as World Heritage Site, kasi it has been nominated before din naman. Kasi we also understand na may political aspect din ito, and that is why very important yung government support, yung support ng mga people, Kasi itong mga na to, minsan kailangan talaga ng maraming mga endorsements, maraming mga recommendations. Napaka masalimutang proseso nitong mga inscriptions sa World Heritage List na ito. And I think, Stephen, parang as the former coordinator ng PCAP, you're very well aware of this.
Yeah. So
if we will be declared I mean, of course, I'm not so familiar with it in a way, Do you get extra fundings? I mean, what does it give you? Aside from, of course, the prestige, di ba?
Well, primarily soft power talaga siya kasi yung prestige. Pero in terms of funding, under the Heritage Act of RA 10066, if inscribed ka in the World Heritage List, you are prioritized by government for funding in case of disasters. Protected ka rin ng government from demolition, relocation.
I see.
Yeah.
To understand it more, Monj, ilan bang hektarya ito? Malaki ba ang, of course, ang sakop mo sa Intramuros, no? I think how many hectares? I think it's almost like about 400 something hectares.
Ano po, 64 hectares po yung Intramuros. Ngayon, pag sinama po natin yung golf course, it's 100 hectares.
Okay. Pero definitely mas malaki siya sa Vatican City.
Yeah.
Roughly around the same size, I think. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Oo, kasi gusto ko maano kung gaano kalaki yon eh. Because partial na lang kasi yung nakikita nating wall, di ba? Yung wall. Hindi na siya talaga as it was before. Kasi I think yung destruction happened during the bombing in the Second World War II, di ba? Parang Second World War, di ba? Nagkaroon ng destruction. Now, kung paano na ngayon ang Intramuros, kasi ang alam ko maraming, correct me if I'm wrong, no? Marami siyang settlers, parang meron siyang
informal settlers.
Informal settlers. Is this true?
Not really.
Wala.
Meron naman, pero minsan kasi exaggerated yung ating popular conception ng Intramuros kasi iilan lang talaga sila, nagkataon lang talaga na nasa bungad. Ayun. So, for example, the biggest settler community is in front of NCCA. Diyan sa pero ano po, yun po. So, hindi naman sila ganun kadami. In fact, yung population ng Intramuros na yun, siguro mga 4,000, 5,000 lang informal settlers. Pero compared sa Quezon City, no? Or sa other areas of Metro Manila.
And tawag dito, I'd like to ask, kasi Vibs, ang naging maganda doon, before kasi there were news na yung mga informal settlers ay de-demolish at aalisin sa Intramuros. And nakakalungkot yun kasi parang ibinabalik mo yung diwa noong old Intramuros na dinidiscriminate mo yung mga Pilipino. Pero ngayon kasi di ba, Sir Rancho, i-integrate siya doon sa preservation ng Intramuros by employing them as part of the heritage tour. Tapos yung mga, meron doon parang bazaar, yung mga parang food bazaar doon every weekend yata. So, can you tell us more about the program?
Well, right now kasi, the main thing is the informal settlers, we should consider them as our partners,
stakeholders,
as stakeholders, not as problem. So, kailangan mo na may recognition na ganun before we proceed to anything else. Now, nabanggit kanina yung relocation, I think. Very important dito, cardinal rule dito yung concept ng consent. No? Hindi pwede ang forced relocation, hindi pwede yung basta-basta na demolition. There has to be consent, informed consent, and we are actually proud to say na in our effort to relocate the informal settlers, they are freely want to join in the relocation program. No, in fact, merong kaming mga efforts for that. Yung kaninang question mo, yung integration sa community, they're very well integrated in the community of Intramuros. Actually, they are the community of Intramuros kasi kanina, di ba, nabanggit ko, mga around 4,000, 5,000 yung informal settlers. That's actually most of the residents of Intramuros kasi the total population of Intramuros is 6,000. So, they're actually the residents of Intramuros. So they're actually the community. So they provide, sila yung tao sa gabi. Na pag sa gabi na nawawala yung mga turista, nawawala na yung mga workers, mga students, sila yung natitira kasi sila nakatira dito. So they are the lifeblood of Intramuros. So they are the economy of Intramuros right now. They're very well part of the community because they are the community.
Yeah, hindi kasi for example, pag meron mga employment opportunities like yung mga parang yung mga security doon, yung mga naka-costume na Guardia Civil ba, parang ganon. Are they given priorities pagdating sa mga, meron ba silang ganong klaseng perks pagdating sa ganyang klaseng opportunities?
Kasi right now po, maybe we can consider that as a suggestion.
All right. Yeah.
Oo. Well, concerned lang ako, no? Because, you know, I've been also in some part of the world na talagang especially in Spain, no? May mga talagang mga old quarters silang itinatawag, ano? But then, makikita mo kasi doon na talagang very strict sila in a way. I know about, alam mo naman yung mga informal settlers natin, I know that they'll have to be given a chance somehow. At saka kung may relocation man, at least, you know, yung livelihood nila and all, no? We know that fact na sa mga ating informal settlers. But then, kasi para sa akin, first contact of historical and sabihin na natin sa tourist, no? Ang talagang pwedeng pagpuntahan natin talaga is really Intramuros, I mean Port Santiago, no? And nakukulangan lang ako in a way. This is my yung observation ko lang kasi Monch, no, if you really compare it to some parts of the world na talagang kung paano nila inaalagaan yung mga ganitong historical spots, no, locations. As you were saying, marami pang dapat gawin, no, in terms of kung paano natin pagagandahin somehow yung ating ano. Kasi minsan marami ako nakikita mga karinderya, marami rin ako nakikitang yung mga, minsan may mga kariton na umiikot din. And I don't know if this appeals to our tourists, no? Or and then paano naman ang peace and order within the wall? Okay naman tayo sa peace and order.
Well,
safe naman yung ating mga tourists.
Yes, relatively speaking, in Metro Manila, Intramuros is one of the safest areas. No?
Yes, oh, that's nice.
Wala ka dito maririnig ng mga tokhang or sa mga massacre or whatever. Very safe dito actually. Of course, through the efforts of the City of Manila, of the National Police, and of course our own security teams sa administration. So, ano siya, kung merong mga crime dito siguro petty theft lang, gano'n, pero not that serious compared dyan sa ibang areas of Metro Manila. So it's relatively peaceful here.
Yes, I'd like to ask si Sir Stephen, bilang project manager ng Philippine Registry ng Cultural Office or Cultural Property Office or PRECOP ng NCCA, kumusta yung inyong pakikipag-ugnayan dito sa Intramuros Administration in terms of documenting, no, and disseminating the various cultural heritage treasures, whether na-discover na or hindi pa, para mapalagay doon sa ating pambansang mapa ng pamana?
Yeah, that's a good question. Kasi aware si Rancho dyan, in some years back, we've coordinated with them in terms of documenting and inventorying yung natitirang mga heritage sites within the walls of Intramuros at least. Kasi parang siguro ang alam ng mga tao talaga, Fort Santiago. And what else apart from Fort Santiago? So apparently there are many more parang tangible assets ng Intramuros na patungkol sa mga heritage structures na usually alam lang ng iba, Manila Cathedral, San Agustin Church, and how about the rest? Basta kasi sabi sa Republic Act 10066 yung heritage law, anything that falls under the cap, yung parang safety net natin na patawagin, pag 50 years old may isang structure, considered na siya na heritage. So therefore, kailangan mailista yun. And meron yun within Intramuros. So not typically parang architecturally significant, pero still worthy or noteworthy of listing down in so far as the laws are concerned. So importante yun na may mga government agencies like Intramuros Administration na site-specific, like for example, sa Intramuros, may mga ka-partners tayo na tumutulong, ka-partner natin na sila may data about the age or the significance of these buildings around. And not just buildings, by the way, it should also include yung intangible aspect. Rancho mentioned na the people or the residents of Intramuros are themselves the assets or the residents or the community in Intramuros. So parang we can ask, ano ba yung practices nila? Ano ba yung kultura nila? Ano yung festival or mga fiesta na meron sila sa loob ng Intramuros? Baka sa loob ng barangay nila, meron sila mga kapistahan, mga celebration. I think kahit mga small celebrations yun, that those things in part would be at large considered as part of the cultural heritage of Intramuros. And it is indeed a living heritage na kala natin, it's just a monument of the past yung Fort Santiago. But the way to really actually live out the heritage and culture of Intramuros is really through its people. So we need to ask and we need to find out and in the future or in the long run list down ano yung kultura na sinaselebrate within Intramuros. So I think ganun yung paraan namin sa pagko-coordinate and eventually coming up with these data or information about heritage.
Yeah. And actually, it's very interesting, Bibs, kasi yung kanilang mga efforts, I don't know if how you are connected to the effort of the private sector, but naglabasa yung mga architectural rendering or mga illustration ng mga the lost churches of Intramuros, no? Kasi sa kaalaman ng ating mga listeners and viewers, ang Intramuros po dati ay naglalaman na napakadaming simbahan na nagiba karamihan noong World War II, and in fact natitira na lang ay San Agustin at yung Manila Cathedral. But the other churches worth mentioning talaga ay naglalabasan sa social media, and ang dami-daming mga nakakakitang kabataan na na-appreciate na once upon a time pala ay ang Intramuros ay punong-puno ng mga magagandang gusali at natututunan nila kung bakit ito mahalaga sa ating kasaysayan.
You know what? There was a time na natatandaan ko dyan. It's a happening place. Meaning happening place. Marami siyang restaurants, di ba?
Yeah.
Marami siyang restaurants. Tapos meron pa akong alam na mga clubs, along the wall, no? Kumusta naman doon? I mean, meaning in terms of events. At, para ma-entice natin yung ating mga, of course, yung mga namumuhunan, yung ating mga business people that, to create more really good restaurants and stuff like that. Kumusta naman ang ating negosyo pagdating sa Intramuros?
Intramuros has recovered na. I believe nag-recover na since the pandemic. Now, before we talk about the business, let's first talk about the market. Napaka-healthy ng market dito sa Intramuros. From January 1 to the present, we've already counted 2.6 million tourists.
Wow.
So, talagang may market talaga for business establishments. No? And hindi pa dito kasama yung student population na bumalik na yung sa face-to-face classes. Siguro there are around 50 or 60,000 students here. Then yung worker population. So very much alive ang walled city. So napaka cosmopolitan, no? When you walk the streets of Intramuros, napakadaming mga nationalities na makakasalubong ninyo. Parang lagi merong Olympics dito. Pagdating naman sa mga business establishments, bumabalik na po mga business establishments and meron po mga bago. So gusto ko rin dito i-highlight and i-feature din. Yung Mercato Central po ay meron na rin dito sa Fort Santiago. So invited po lahat na bumisita. Bukas po ang Mercato dito ng Thursdays to Sundays. And of course, napakadami, hindi ko na kayang ma-mention lahat na yun, pero napakadaming bagong mga restaurants and kainan dito sa Intramuros.
And actually, Vibs, metrics ko dyan is yung kung kagano ba siya kalaganap sa social media, especially Instagram, yung mga Instagrammable location, like yung mga cafe, mga wedding events, places, no? So it's still very popular site.
Oo. Ang alam ko talagang kumbaga wedding ano yan destinations. I
Yeah.
mean marami talagang pagdating sa mga weddings yan talaga sa Intramuros because it's so very romantic, 'di ba? I mean the setup and all, no. So what are we doing? Meron ba tayong may effort ba ang tourism natin for the marketing of for Santiago, but I mean for Santiago and Intramuros? Meron ba tayo? Oo.
Well, sa marketing kasi very important yung events kasi sometimes kasi parang when you talk about Intramuros kasi sometimes yung mga may hilig lang dyan ay yung mga historical yung mga history enthusiasts. No, we're trying to tap into a market na hindi about history, na hindi about heritage. So how do we encourage people to come to Intramuros? No, we do that by having activities na sari-sari, na not just about history, not just about heritage. So kung halimbawa may mga fun run, no? So yung mga otherwise hindi naman talaga interested sa Intramuros, dahil may fun run dito, pumunta sila, di ba? So very important sa pag-market ng Intramuros yung mga events, no? And of course, social media. Ito yung mga bagay na we have learned the hard way, no, during the pandemic, no. Dati na namin actually na-feel na very important social media, pero mas lalo namin na-feel na talagang napakahalaga niya nung pandemic, no. So napilayan kami kasi nasarado yung lahat ng aming sites during the lockdown. So we had no choice but to move online. And itong movement namin online, until now, nakita rin namin yung momentum. So meron pa rin kaming mga activities online, may mga webinars pa rin kami, may mga online conferences pa din. And of course, yung aming social media strategies are stronger more than ever.
Monch, kasi, sir, correct me, no? Kung ano, kasi pagka sinabi natin sa Intramuros, minsan pag nagpupunta ako doon, nahihirapan ako mag-park, sir. I think,
buong Pilipinas yata yan, Vips.
Natawa tuloy si sir. Because those are the things that, kunyari, let's say me, di ba? And I like to walk, di ba? Kasi masarap maglakad-lakad doon, ano? But then, yung parking kaya, meron ba kayong solution dyan?
We are currently addressing that, no? Meron kaming programa sa ating I won't preempt it right now, pero
okay.
We're going toward that direction. We have projects in the pipeline to address mobility, to address pedestrianization, to address parking. And we are, of course, kasi limited lang talaga yung spaces in it. Limited lang talaga yung empty spaces na under the government, pero maraming mga open space ang private sector. So we're also trying to coordinate with the private sector na kung pwede open din yung space nila, no, for parking. Pero of course, that's just some of the ways. And then meron din kami mga programa for transportation and pedestrianization, and I hope na it's in the pipeline, and then we're going to update the public about that eventually sooner than later. So.
Suggest ko lang, sir, kayo ng tram. Yung paikat-ikat na sa Intramuros at saka sa di ba? Like parang hop in, hop out, di ba? Yung, also in Italy, it's like that. In Rome, di ba? Sa Vatican, merong mga buses or merong mga tram na going around. You hop in and you hop out kung saan mo gusto. Sana meron tayong gano'n, ano?
Yes, that's also in the pipeline, yung tinatawag nating ho-ho tour, yung hop in, hop out, no?
Yes.
Ayun, so, papunta rin tayo dyan, no? So, we have tram, no? So, magkakaroon siya ng idea is magkakaroon siya ng regular na route, no?
Actually, nakita ko dyan, Bibs, merong mga horse-drawn carriages, but I'm not sure kung exclusive ba siya dun in certain areas, kasi nakita ko siya flying the route of Port Santiago, no? So meron din pa ibang routes tong mga nito, and is it affordable?
Oo. Na usually minsan yung bibili ka na lang isang ticket, tapos you can use it for like the whole day. So hop in, hop out ka lang, basta sakay ka lang, tapos and then, it's good for the day, parang ganon. Oo.
Yeah. And kasi din, Bibs, yung kasi ibang mga streets sa Intramuros, pinreserve nila na cobblestone. So hindi nila
Correct. Ang
iniba
ganda.
para gawing asfalto. And for example, no, specifically, andyan sa may General Luna Street, right? Tama ba? Dito sa may tapat ng NCCA at saka ng San Agustin. So pag naririnig mo talaga yung mga kabayo doon, yung mga karitela, it brings you back in time. And with sight and sound.
Oh, those are the things that really makes a place, di ba? To make it really easier for everybody to just go in. Parang, kumbaga wala ka nang iisipin, hindi ka na magpapark, alam mo na kung saan ka na magpapark, and then pagdating mo dun sa parking, alam mo na, pwede ka na the whole day kung saan ka na pwede pumunta. Especially in Intramuros because it's such a huge place, di ba? Na parang iba yung lugar na pwede mong puntahan. Ayun yung map ni Sir, nakikita po natin. Doon sa mga nasa radio, hindi nila makita yan. Pero, it's such a huge place. So, Sir, dito sa tourism, as you were saying, talaga maraming pumupunta, no? So, that's really good to know. May mga fee ba ito? May mga bayad? Like, alam ko sa Fort Santiago, when you enter to a place, meron siyang entrance fee, no?
Meron po, because kailangan natin i-maintain yung ating site.
Okay.
Ayun. Pero very minimal and never na siya tumaas for years, no? Sa Fort Santiago, it's 75, pero we offer discounts sa students, children, meaning na children, those who are 17 and below, no? Seniors, citizens, government employees. So, we offer discounts. So, kung 75 yung Fort Santiago, ang discounted rate is 50 pesos. And of course, there are areas din naman na free, na walang entrance fee. Like, for example, Plaza Roma, that's free. And then yung above the walls, no? Kasi one of the features kasi when people go to Intramuros is yung naglalakad ka above the wall. So, it's a very scenic So, napakagandang experience. And free.
Oo, correct. So, meron bang reconstruction and or recondition ang nangyayari ngayon? I know the walls talaga, Monch, ang tibay ng mga walls nila, di ba? Makakapal na, oo. Alam ko may mga restrictions, di ba, Sir? Like when you put up a restaurant or something that you cannot really...
yeah, actually, maganda na itanong mo yan, Vibs, kasi
sige.
Tungkol sa mga buffer zone and yung regulation pagdating sa construction ng mga buildings around Intramuros. Because, of course, sabi nga ng ibang ng business sector, you can stop progress. So, nagiging controversial yan, especially yung recently, yung yung Friendship Bridge, no? Dito sa may malapit sa may El Hogar. And may mga nag-oppose because yung daw structural integrity ng Intramuros buildings ay maapektuhan. And yung San Agustin baka ma-delist sa UNESCO World Heritage Site because of that bridge. Kumusta po itong usapan ito sa Rancho? And ano yung mga regulations, specifically sa Intramuros, to protect their structures and without giving prejudice naman sa ginagawang development ng ating business sector in Manila?
Well, in Intramuros is the only place in the Philippines na the development is regulated purely for cultural reasons and by the force of law, national law. We have other heritage sites na may mga regulations din naman. For example, vegan, silay, pero mga city ordinances lang yan. Ito sa Intramuros, batas, no? National law, yung strength ng ating regulations. So talagang hindi pwedeng baliin yan. So we have architectural regulations. So dito na ito ay papasok na dun sa mandate natin to develop Intramuros. So meron tayong architectural regulations to ensure that we promote the significance of Intramuros and yung identity ng Intramuros ay hindi ma-negatively affected. So itong mga regulations natin are inclusive of course of height limits, no? So may limit sa height ng mga building, yung mga aesthetics, etc. So that's good for the entire district.
Yeah.
Sorry, yung tanong mo ano nga ulit yun?
Kung ano ba, meron, of course, you mentioned about the regulations and the law, no? Hindi kasi, the reason why I asked this is kasi dahil nga yung napahintulutan yung mga certain structures na inopose ng mga experts na baka daw maka-affect sa integrity ng mga walls and ibang mga mga structures kagaya ng tulay at saka ng mga high rises na itatayo sa paligid niya. So you're saying na parang meron tayong safety nets or meron tayong mga regulations in place para hindi yan mangyari, para ma-preserve natin intact yung Intramuros.
We are pleased to say naman that San Agustin has not been delisted.
That's good.
Good news. And of course, there are mga compromises for example, yung bridge. Yung originally the design was dire-diretso lang siya, tatama siya sa intensya. Ngayon, because of stakeholders, mga feedback, because of mga recommendations, so instead na dire-diretso yung bridge patama sa intendensya, nag-fork siya pa letter Y. So in-avoid niya yung bridge. And at the same time, meron din siyang conservation component na ensure talaga na hindi ma-negatively affect yung intendensya. And of course, meron din mga experts involved from National Museum, from NCCA, from NHCP to ensure that everything is in place, na ensure na hindi ma-negatively affect yung ating heritage sites.
Tuloyin ko naman, Monch, si Sir Stephen, tungkol dito sa Manileños for Heritage. Ano naman po ang mga goals and objectives nitong Manileños for Heritage?
Yes. Okay. Pagdating naman sa Manileños for Heritage, we talk about Intramuros for at the early start of our discussion. For Manileños for Heritage naman, it extends to other districts of Intramuros.
Yes.
Nakita natin, naririnig na natin yung mga issues ng Intramuros, ano pa yung mga ways forward for that. Especially for Manila, I think meron pang places na pa rin natin ma-discover in terms of the heritage of the capital city. So, mainly, we have many districts like Binondo, Pandacan, Paco, Malate. So, if you may ask, ano yung heritage ng mga places na to? Yes. So, isa sa mga aims ng Manileños for Heritage is to actually establish a support system among residents of Manila who are advocating for heritage conservation. Na kumbaga, meron kayong strong support system amongst residents na we need to do this together and to advocate for the preservation of these heritage sites. Kasi the reality is, paubos na sila kasi yung iba na-demolish, yung iba napapabayaan, yung iba, wag naman sana, pag typically nangyayari pa rin yung madadaanan ng disasters. Minsan nasusunog, napanood, sana wag masunog, diba? Pero yun lagi yung nangyayari sa Manila. So, isa sa platform yung grupo ng Manileños for Heritage para to help and to equip also residents of Manila on how to write, parang write letters to the government, to inform the government, both local and national, about the existence of these structures and even yung intangible heritage natin na nag-exist pala yung mga festivals, yung mga practices, traditions within the city, knowing na pag sinabi mong Manila, meron bang kultura dyan? Meron bang festivities dyan? Meron bang malalim na tradition dyan? Maybe we just have to look very closely or even closer na meron pala yun. Kasi yung mga tao yung nagpa-practice nun. So, yun yung parang platform na ino-offer ng Manileños for Heritage.
Well, kasi, Monch, ang dami-dami pang mga ibang heritage places, no? Like, for instance, yung UST, di ba? That building, yung medical building, it's one of those talaga. Pag nakikita ko yung UST and looking at the structures, and then also, as you mentioned kanina, yung Paco.
Yes.
Yeah, oo. Kasi natatandaan ko, meron pa silang dati, may mga events sila ron, no?
Concert in the park.
Concert in the park. Meron pa ba nun?
Ibabalik, di ba?
Yes. Merong mga existing mga events. Kasi usually, Paco Park is managed by another government agency, the National Parks Development Committee. So, yung concert at the park, I think, ginagawa nila yon every so often. Parang alternately with Rizal Park. meron sa Rizal Park, meron sa Paco Park. So, yun nga, parang may mga cultural memory mga tao sa mga landmarks na to. And these are typically the major landmarks that we know of. For example, pag sinabing Paco, okay, may Paco Park. Pag sinabing Malate, may Malate Church. Or sa Ermita, may Ermita Church. Typically, mga simbahan, diba? So, we need to dig deeper beyond these churches and the plazas and the monuments around. Ano yung kwento ng mga heritage houses? Sino yung nakatira doon sa mga bahay na yun? Sa mga theaters, for example, sa Avenida Rizal, ano yung mga theaters na yun? Ano yung kwento ng history, yung cultural significance sa mga places na yun? Usually, hindi alam ng mga tao. So, kailangan, kagaya sa Paco Park, sana napupuntahan, nalalaman na yung kwento ng mga places na yun. Para eventually, if mas magiging pronounced yung tourism aspect ng mga things, pwedeng mas ma-promote pa yung mga yun. If only we'll be able to identify, document, and eventually bigyan ng marker, bigyan ng incentives, and all these things.
Alam mo kasi, Monch, bago ako nagpunta ng US and studied in the States, nag-graduate ako sa Paco Catholic School.
Wow,
So,
okay.
Very familiar ako dyan.
Manila nyo.
Graduate ako na grade school lang naman because, nagpunta na kami naman sa US. So, it's really a familiar place for me. At napakaganda nung, sana ibalik na nila yung concert in the park, no? Kasi, it gives, yun nga yung sinasabi ni Sir Rancho kanina na events like this, kasi you have already the beautiful place, di ba? A romantic place like that. And all you have to do is really create events, for people to come, no? And kudos to you, Stephen, kasi sino ang nag-aano na Manileños for Heritage? Kasi maganda yung inyong Facebook page. Very informative.
Yes. Actually, it's volunteer led. May mga students actually who are living in the city of Manila. Some of them are also studying, like for example, in UST, they're taking up architecture. So kung ano man yung parang mga background nila, we put them together, parang kung ang expertise that they are building also, especially if there are students, parang this they're also parang testing ground so that in terms of the advocacy, they will be able to unleash their potential. Sige, gawa tayo ng mga social media posts, very important yan para so, especially ng mga lesser known heritage sites natin in Manila. So yun yung ginagawa namin. And I appreciate that you appreciate.
Yes, I do. Maganda siya. Talaga, very informative, Monch. I really enjoy it.
Actually, Vibs, maganda rin na nagagawa ni Stephen to, kasi na-engage yung kabataan. And in fact, diba, nag-serve ka sa Heritage Conservation Society youth sector, no? And Vibs, if you remember, kasama natin si Stephen when we sat together para doon sa National Summit for the Arts. So we represented the heritage sector. Tayo mga magkakaupo noon.
Okay.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
7 years ago. Ayan. Hindi, nasabi ka na ni Stephen, Vibs, yung three-pronged na steps in addressing cultural heritage conservation. Number one, yung discovery, di ba? You have to find out kung nasaan sila, ano sila, bakit sila mahalaga. So it requires research na very tedious and expertise. And number two, yung restoration and conservation, kasi it also requires experts pagdating sa ano bang tamang pagre-restore at pagre-rebuild ng mga bagay-bagay na yan. And number three, yung dissemination na ginagawa ng Manila because of this Manileños for Heritage at yung ginawa ni na Sir Rancho ng mga exhibits sa NCCA, sa Art Gallery. They're promoting these sites, these places for people to see, discover, and experience. And this brings me, Vibs, actually to very ako interested to ask Sir Stephen pagdating sa kanila naging active involvement sa revival efforts, no, na ibang lugar sa Manila like Escolta, Quiapo, Binondo, and San Nicolas. Kasi sabi mo nga, Vibs, di ba, ang laki-laki ng Maynila at ang daming lugar dito talaga na kailangan pansinin.
Correct.
So, ano yung mga naging niyo doon? Kumusta yung inyong revival efforts doon, Sir Stephen?
Okay. Apart from Manileños for Heritage, it's also giving credits to other heritage groups and mga interested individuals on heritage na we were able to take these things together. Like for example, in Escolta, isa sa mga prior to the pandemic, we're able to organize parties, yung kumbaga ipapasara yung kalye, tapos doon between the heritage sites, pwede kang mag-party at night. Ganun. So it's one way to actually say na parang we can celebrate our heritage. Parang yun yung parang pinaka-statement for that. Na parang what if gagawin natin to for just one day, maybe in the future, that could also give a statement, but this can also happen in the long run. Parang so that's it as well. In other places like Quiapo, we were able to successfully parang give highlight dun sa mga certain heritage sites doon na medyo nanganganib through writing petitions, yung pag-write ng letters sa government na medyo may ginagawa yung mga owners dito na baka i-demolish yung building. So we're writing letters kasi that's really one way to inform the government that we need to work with us and to take action with regard to these demolitions, yung mga these sad things, di ba? So, importante yung ganun, na yun yung mga ginagawa natin behind the scenes, na hindi masyadong di alam ng mga tao na ginagawa pala yun kasi importante siyang work para talaga masave natin yung heritage natin. So, yun yung part na ginagawa natin behind the scenes, and kung meron behind the scenes, meron din yung parang front up. When I say front up, yung nalalaman ng mga tao na kadalasan ginagawa. And these are through mga tours. Nag-organize ng mga heritage tours, gumagawa ng mga walking tours in mga places like Escolta, Binondo, Quiapo, and San Nicolas. Maraming nagtatanong nga minsan yung last na district San Nicolas, saan yun? Meron palang gano'n sa Manila. Actually, I live in that area. It's part of the Chinatown section of Manila. So kumbaga, nandun yung mga heritage houses natin na dating back way during the Spanish colonial period. So kumbaga, hindi alam ng maraming tao, and we organize tours para mas ma-highlight yung existence ng mga buildings na to, para mas experiential na pupunta mismo yung mga participants, pupunta mismo yung mga interested folks, na hopefully, as they were able to see those structures, para magkakaroon sila ng idea and perhaps interest to become part of the advocacy. So yun yung mga full of things that we do together, both silently and medyo front up na nakikita ng mga tao. We need all these kinds of practical ways to actually stimulate the people's interest and eventual involvement in the heritage conservation advocacy.
Well, that's good, ano? Marami pala silang, activities. Oo. Tanong ko lang kay Sir Ranjo, no? Ito bang Intramuros? This is Manila, right? So, are you under the LGU or sa national?
We're a national government agency po, under the Department of Tourism.
Department of Tourism.
Oh, okay. So, ang mga tulong ninyo ay nanggagaling sa national. Walang inaasahan sa mga LGU, sa LGU ng Manila.
Well, meron po kaming budget from Congress, and meron din kaming revolving fund na nagmumula sa mga entrance tickets, sa mga rentals, mga venue, rentals and tenants namin. Meron din kaming mga leasable spaces.
Yeah.
So may autonomous sila.
Oo. Oo, tama.
Well,
Nakatuwa, Vibs, kasi meron parang ganong sub-agency yung DOT, no, na nag-focus in a particular place. Meron din ba kayo mga counterpart sa rancho sa iba't ibang lugar sa Pilipinas? Like, meron bang, is there such a place like Vegan Administration or Cebu Administration, mga ganon? Meron bang ganon?
I'm proud to say that Intramuros is one of a kind.
Sabi one of a kind.
Wow, nag-iisa lang.
Oo, kasi parang it's one, parang isang walled city, no? That it is parang independent, but not really independent because of course under the Department of Tourism, pero nga yun nga, it's not under LGU, no? How is it naman, Sir Ranjo? Paano naman ang budget ninyo? Parang kailangan yata maglabi tayo for more budget.
Yes. So, marami tayong mga projects na kailangan ng funding, and we encourage everyone to help us, no. Maraming ways para makatulong sa Intramuros administration, and hindi lang naman through monetary form. Sometimes yung mga maliliit na bagay, malaking tulong na yun sa amin. Katulad, halimbawa, as simple as wag po kayo dito magkalat. Kasi yung paglilinis kasi, it entails funding, budget, pera yan. So, wag kayo dito magkalat, wag niyong sirain yung aming properties, wag kayo mag-vandalize nito.
Yeah.
Yung mga ganun ka simpleng mga bagay, malaking tulong na yun sa amin.
Malaki bang problema niyo sa vandalism? Meron bang
Hindi naman po, pero ano po, one of the problems na yun na na-encounter namin is talagang yung trash collection, mga ganon, yung kalat na yun, nagkalimbawa na yun, ano siya, dry season, lahat ng mga dahon bumabagsakan, so very busy talaga yung aming lahat ng mga street sweepers, so huwag naman sanang dumagdag yung mga plastic na mga wrappers.
Yeah.
Oo.
Ito, Vibs, very interested ako. Actually, very curious ako malaman from our guests, kasi one reason ko ba nagiging popular yung mga heritage structures, like yung mga lumang bahay, at yan, mismo Intramuros, no, yung mga dungeons, is yung katatakutan. Yung parang natitrail yung ating mga kabataan to visit these places because they experience the thrill of terror na minuto doon ng mga patay na sundalong Hapon, etc. etc. Ano ang masasabi nyo doon? Is that a positive attribute ng ating mga heritage structures?
Bago sagutin ni Sir, kasi meron naman I mean, abroad, I've been to this, yung mga, like in Edinburgh, dito sa England, no, meron silang castle na talagang ghost, yan. So sa gabi, meron silang may mga tour, no? Parang meron bang ganyan, sir, sa Intramuros?
Tuwing Halloween?
Oo. Not only Halloween,
Yeah, oo.
That's something na very interesting sa Filipino behavior, no? As Filipinos, kasi culturally, we are afraid of death, no? Parang every time we talk about death and something ominous, lagi tayong nagkakatok sa kahoy.
Yeah.
Yet we completely avoid the discussion pag about yung death is about us. Pero pag yung death about others, ay naku, tuwang-tuwa tayo. So, ghost tour na, mga ganyan. Di ba? So, parang yun yung something na interesting about Filipino behavior. Anyway, so sa Intramuros naman po, the thing with Intramuros kasi is a lot of the people who died here died during the war. And with yung naging practice kasi talaga dito sa amin sa Intramuros administration as directed by our management over the years. So, to put it bluntly talaga, we do not, halimbawa, October 31 or November 1, we as much as possible do not encourage yung mga katatakutan, halimbawa sa Fort Santiago, kasi nade-desecrate somehow yung mga memory ng mga namatay dyan. In the same way na hindi tayo mag-ghost tour sa Auschwitz or sa Birkenau or dun sa mga other sites of atrocity sa Germany and Austria o sa Poland. Yung ganong klaseng reverence dapat pinapakita natin. Pero kasi at the same time din naman, hindi rin naman natin papipigilan yung mga gusto mag-ghost tour dyan. Pero talagang reminder lang po na maging maingat kasi ilang beses na kami naka-encounter nito dahil sa ghost tour, yung mga nai-injure yung mga tao kasi nagtutulakan yung mga mag-ingat na lang po kasi madilim.
Parang nagtatakutan lang sir.
Oo, madilim. So, pero kasi kami, we do not have projects na may activities na ghost tour. Usually yung mga ghost tour by other people, yung mga private sector.
Parang you don't really encourage it, no? Sir Radyo. But actually, marami ako naririnig ng mga ghost stories. Ikaw ba, Monch? Marami ka naririnig ng mga ghost stories?
Oo, sobra. Pagdat
sobra rin.
Makadindig balik.
Oo. So, well, kasi meron dyang club dati. I forgot the name, no? Actually, yung owner was a friend of mine. Nandiyan sa may wall mismo, dun sa taas, sa tapat ng letran. Parang there's a place there, parang a club. So pagka lumalabas ka na ng mga 2 o'clock, papunta rin sa kotse mo, yun na, nagtatakutan na yung mga tao, baka makasalubong mo kung sino, yung mga ganon. Pero maraming mga kwento. Ito naman nagkakatuwaan lang tayo, Sir Radyo. Anyway, marami pa tayong gustong malaman, no, sa pagbabalik ng ating programa. Let's pause for some friendly reminders from our sponsors.
Join Arnel Doria as he explores the world of travel, transportation, road safety, and the environment. Tune in to Good Trip every Saturday at 1 to 2 p.m. on Radio Bandito TV, Channel 224 Sky Cable, TV Plus boxes, digital free-to-air Channel 29, Facebook.com/DZRJ 810 a.m. and YouTube channel DZRJ 810 a.m. Radio Bandito. Fierce, fast, and on the go. Reporters Hour, hosted by 𝗖𝗵𝗶𝘁. Meet the fearless reporters of Teleradio Bandito TV. Celestino Jojo Sicat, Vance Fernandez, Jong Manapas, 𝗖𝗵𝗶𝘁, Felix Tambongco, and Romel Madrigal. During a crisis, you need timely and up-to-date reports on Radio Bandito TV daily, plus on Reporters Hour, 12 noon to 1 p.m. Except Tuesdays on Channel 224 Sky Cable, TV Plus boxes, digital free-to-air Channel 29, DZRJ 810 a.m., Facebook.com/DZRJ 810 a.m., and on YouTube channel DZRJ 810 a.m. Radio Bandito. Chit Chat with 𝗶𝘶 with host Vivian Velez is a program that breaks down important national concerns, events, and stories, featuring newsmaker interviews and compelling features to add context, clarity, and answer the questions on your mind. Every Sundays from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. on Radio Bandito TV, Channel 224 Sky Cable, TV Plus boxes, 𝗖𝗵𝗶𝘁 box, Easy Box, and all DTT boxes. Simulcast on DZRJ 810 a.m. Seen on Facebook/DZRJ 810 a.m. and YouTube channel DZRJ 810 a.m. Radio Bandito.
Okay, welcome back. I was medyo mabilis yung ating mga reminders ngayon, ano. At maraming salamat syempre dito sa ating mga guest for today, sa ating mga resource person at Monj.
Yes, maraming salamat. Oo, at sa mga nakikinig din, ano, maraming salamat sa kina 𝗵𝗁, kina Chester Reyes, si iba pang mga papaabot ng bate. And again, Happy Mother's Day sa lahat ng mga nanonood ng mga nanay.
Oo. Babati rin ako kila Ferdinand Sr. at yung aking mga kasamahan, of course, sila Dansky, sila Beth, yung mga kasamahan ko dito sa Bilis Action Movement. At yon, parati sila nakikinig sa atin. And Monj, and meron kang tanong sa ating...
Yeah. Kanina nag-share ang ating guests tungkol sa mga organisasyon na kinakatawan nila, no? So, pag-usapan naman natin yung kanilang mga future plans, outlook, at guro-guro tungkol sa estado ng ating national heritage. So, specifically, we're focusing on Manila for this episode. We'd like to know, no, kung ano inyong mga interpretation about heritage protection, in particularly dito sa Manila. And we know na ang dami-dami mga case examples na nangyari. Iba, hindi maganda yung naging kinahinatnan, kagaya ng High Alay Building. And meron naman na patuloy ang effort to preserve, kagaya ng 𝗖𝗵𝗶𝘁 Building, among many others. I'd like to know, no, from our guests, kung kumusta ang inyong mga effort at mga kuro-kuro, no, sa mga estado ng heritage conservation sa Manila, kagaya ng mga nabanggit nating case examples. And kung meron kayong iba pang nakikitang mga Manila cultural heritage treasures na worth mentioning and worth help, no, para yung ating mga nakikinig na listeners and viewers can baka may mga nakikinig na interested tumulong. Siguro start tayo kay Sir Stephen from Manileños for Heritage.
Okay. I think may mga bagay na kailangan ginagawa in government on that side, and at the same time in terms of the community of Manila, yung mga Manila residents or mga Manileños. Siguro magsimula ako sa Manileño na yung mga residents of Manila. karamihan sa kanila parang hindi equipped talaga na paano ba mag-start sa advocacy on how to save the heritage, or perhaps nakikita nila sa lugar nila o merong ancestral house dito or merong isang monumento dito or may historical marker na kapabayaan, where to start, paano paprotektahan yung mga gusali na yon, or even in terms of their traditions para mas mapapatuloy na mas mapapayaman or magpaprotektahan pagpatuloy na ma-practice yung mga bagay-bagay na yun. So, kumbaga, ang punto doon is kailangan talagang support system, which is why yun talagang pinaka-reason bakit may Manila Youth for Heritage na sana ma-activate yung mga distrito na siguro hindi pa kilala kung sino yung mga advocates doon sa particular district na yun. Let's say, taga-Malate pala yung taon yun, baka meron siyang interest sa heritage, pwedeng matulungan ng Manila Youth for Heritage na establish yung support system din amongst mga fellow taga-Malate para ma-equip sila, ma-empower sila on how to write letters to the government, how to properly document those buildings in their area, yung mga heritage buildings, mga historical structures. So yun yung sa residents. Pagdating naman sa government, this goes out to the national and local governments. Usually kulang yung monitoring pagdating sa mga heritage sites natin. Typically kasi ang nakikita ng mga tao, yung mas mga kilalang heritage sites, yung mga landmarks na tawagin natin. Mas mabilis alamin ng Fort Santiago. But how about the other heritage sites within the city? So, ang isang aspect doon is to strengthen yung pag-i-inventory ng mga heritage sites natin, especially per barangay and even per district yun. Importante kasi para ma-establish yung database na ito pala yung heritage natin. Kasi laging ganun yung statement eh. Hindi mo alam kung ano yung protektahan mo, kung paano mo sila i-conserve in the first place, kung wala namang listahan, kung wala namang database. So, usually, ang talaga nag-spearhead nun is the government. So, yun yung mga both sides na kailangan natin in the future i-strengthen pa para in the future mas maiting natin yung preservation and conservation na advocacy sa Manila. Anyway, ang parang vision is sana yung Manila yung magiging parang role model ng ibang mga LGUs.
Or best practices, no?
Anyway, best practice exactly pagdating sa heritage conservation. Kasi it's about time na dapat yung Manila yung spearhead ng mga bagay-bagay na yun, not other cities. Although we are gathering a lot of best practices, let's say from Iloilo, Taal Batangas, Vivian, napakaganda ng mga practices nila. I think Manila has to start na and marami siyang pwedeng pamalas na best practices if only they would start now.
Maganda na nabanggit, Vibs, ni Sir Stephen, yung equipping the stakeholders about how to protect. Kasi ako when I serve time sa NCCA, that's one question na tinatanong ng mga tao. Paano daw nila aalagaan, hindi nila alam kung paano dahil hindi naman ganun kadali mag-ingat ng mga lumang bahay. And I'd like to ask Sir Stephen, in your time sa NCCA and ito nga sa Manila Youth for Heritage, are you also actively involving with ito nga yung capacity building seminar sa mga lugar na ito, especially dito sa Intramuros, no, kay Sir Rancho sa Intramuros Administration? Nakikipag-ugnayan ba kayo para mabigyan ng seminar to equip the stakeholders, especially the yung masa, para alam nila kung paano iingatan yung kanilang mga lumang bahay?
May mga ilang instances, like for example sa Escolta, na ginather yung mga heritage homeowners or heritage building owners in Escolta on what do they need to do with regard to the protection of their respective buildings. So nagsimula yung magkaroon ng focus group discussion on how to go about it, on how to research about the history of their places. Kasi ang sa mga aim ng time na we gathered the Escolta building owners is magpakabit ng historical marker for each building. So isang paraan yung para mas protektahan, mabigyan ng incentive yung heritage building na pagmamayari nila. So nasimulan na yun sa ganung aspekto. Pero in a larger scale, medyo yun pa yung way to go natin. I mean, marami pang dapat gawin. Kasi sometimes paraan para to actually engage those heritage property owners is to talk to them one by one. And not everybody is really open or equipped or even parang aware about the idea na I need to protect my property. So it's a good thing na through networks, which is why yun yung ginagawa namin, magkaroon ng network of residents within Manila to advocate for this. na baka mas kilala nila yung mga property owners from each district na we need to engage those people para we can equip them. So nag-start sa ganun, yung mga ganung parang word of mouth, and in the larger scale, parang at least ma-build muna yung community within that area. Para pag halimbawa may concern yung isang property owner, yung isang may heritage or ancestral house doon, meron ng pool of people who can help them equip themselves pagdating sa pagprotekta in the long run. So may ganong aspect na we are looking at. Parang ano siya, community building din at the same time, while we are getting towards the more technical side of assisting them and to talk about what could be the ways and means to restore or protect their buildings. And that's one building at a time.
Tanong ko lang din kay Stephen, kasi yung I know yung LGU na Manila LGU, especially with 𝗖𝗵𝗁𝗶 before, talagang medyo 'di ba yung beautification ng Manila. So continuous pa rin ba 'yon? Nakakakuha pa rin ba ng malaking tulong sa mga LGU when it comes to this preservations?
Yung nag-start yun, ma'am, nung time ni 𝗖𝗵𝗁𝗶, malaking tulong yun para mas mabigyan ng mas malawakang diskusyon yung heritage dito sa Manila. Kasi yung nag-start sa beautification, nowadays, like I mentioned earlier, gumagawa na kami ng tours dun sa mga areas na typically parang napaka-blighted yan, napakadumi
like
yan.
yung Bonifacio, Iwasang Bonifacio.
Yeah, the Bonifacio
Ngayon may mga magagandang,
right? Yeah. Yes, so nowadays parang we bring people there. We can parang confidently bring people there when in the past we cannot really bring people there and talk about the history of that place. So nowadays we're now under a new leadership. As I can personally notice it, medyo mas konti yung efforts nowadays. Parang I would say yung under the leadership of the current mayor, mas continuity na lang yung ginagawa niya from previous administration.
From previous, yeah.
Pero at least, nandun pa rin yung mga facilities. Although, parang siguro, ang happy ako doon, siguro medyo kailangan mas may konting maintenance kasi medyo napapabayaan yung ilat konti. So, magandang start yun. And I think ang gusto ko lang in summary na sabihin, marami pang kailangan gawin pero may nasimulan na. So, it's a good thing.
And also, gusto kong tanungin yung dati kasi yung sa Cafe Adriatico, no? Doon sa may Malate. Now, naging ano na siya, no? Koreatown.
Oh yes, yun. So nagbabago din yung essence ng place. It's Malate, it's Remedios.
Correct.
Yeah. It could be something good or bad. Yeah. We cannot really tell for now, but if ever that would help enrich the place in terms of its culture, kasi the Koreans would be bringing in their values, their culture, and all that. Yes. Pero kasi ang concern yata ng mga halimbawa nakaalala ng kwento ng Cafe Adriatico as what Ma'am Bibs just mentioned. Parang ito yung memory ko of Malate and Remedios. Yung parang nadi-displace na yung personal memory ko, which was a heyday of that place before. Napapalitan na siya. So parang nagkakaroon ng disconnect. So I would say, sana na-enrich, hindi yung nasasapawan yung mga previous memories kasi that's all part of our history anyway. So,
well, I brought it up, Monch, kasi I mean it's nasa ano natin nasa kultura din natin minsan katulad nung Malate, it was really at its heyday, no? Talagang it's really the happening place, no? Pagkatapos nagda-drop siya, no? At nawawala na minsan ng spark or something, no? Oo. So ngayon, nagiging Korean town na siya. So,
parang yung change ng culture. Parang,
correct.
Pero naman yung reality pagdating sa, when we talk about the greater scheme of talking about culture, nag-evolve naman talaga siya. Pero pag sinabing nag-evolve, is it for better or for worse? Kasi parang lahat yun, sama-sama yun, that will be part of the history of that place. And actually, we tell about the story of Malate in its heydays, when we do tours there or something like that. So, kumbaga fast forward, kumbaga in the years to come, is it worth telling kung ano man yung evolution na ibibigay ng pag-i-introduce ng Korean town in that place? So, we are yet to see that if that's for better or worse.
I think kailangan lang ang spark, no, Sir Rancho, dito sa Intramuros. Because it's really such a beautiful place. Kaya lang kulang ng nightlife. Nightlife. Ayan, si Monge, sanay yan sa night. Paano naman walang nightlife, di ba, Monge?
Yeah, baka, I don't know, ano ba Sir Rancho, ano ba yung, is it culturally appropriate? Ayan, sa Intramuros na maging malag-BGC siya, di ba? Or parang
Bakit
pobla.
naman hindi? I mean, you know, we can romanticize that. I mean, the whole place as Intramuros, but it can be also di ba, a happening place, right?
Yes po. I agree po. Bakit naman po hindi? So that's why recently po, in our effort para mas magka-incentive pumunta yung mga tao sa gabi, ang Fort Santiago, in-extend na namin yung operations to 11 p.m. So, pwede na pumunta sa Fort Santiago, pwede na mag-date sa Fort Santiago ng gabi. So, up to 11 p.m. No? So,
no, but then, dun sa perimeters, like for instance, yung mga, marami naman places doon di ba, that you can really, yung dating malapit dun sa immigration, of course, di ba, yung mga restaurant row na pwedeng, so pwedeng maging parang yung Adriatico nung before, di ba? I mean, yun lang, sir, solve mo lang yung parking. Masolve mo lang yung parking, hindi ba, Monge? Kasi, you know, masolve mo lang talaga yung parking because yan ang talagang ng stigma ng pag sinabi mo kasi walang parking. Sabi ko parking sa sakyan mo. So that is the that is syempre if you want to entice people to come, right?
Yes po.
So paano natin gagawin yan? I think yung infrastructure of how, you know, yung ayusin natin so people can come, no? Of course, kamusta naman po ang inyong mga comfort rooms? Malinis ating mga banyo.
Opo, regarding po sa parking, I agree po na napakahalaga ng parking, and if I'm ever to share din naman, if maalala natin ang Escolta, no, ang Escolta ay isa sa mga pinaka most important na districts nung araw. Siya yung primary business and financial district nung araw. Na pag sinabi na
sorry, sir. Na-mention mo yung Escolta. Si Monge kasi bagets pa Monge, dati yan yung yung Escolta, lahat ng mga
shopping
outfits.
Movie houses. Yeah.
Dyan ang mga office sa Escolta. Lumalakad-lakad lang mga artista dyan. Okay, go ahead, sir.
So parang pag sinabing nag-Escolta ka, parang may kaya, ganon. Ngayon hindi na ganon. May teorya ako doon kung bakit namatay ang Escolta. Kasi walang parking. Parang, kasi totoo. Kasi, ba't ka pupunta doon, di ba? Ang hirap mag-park. Parang din yan Minsan,
ang dami, sir, ang dami kong gustong kainan sa Escolta, lalo na sa Binondo, yan. Kaya lang, pag iniisip ko, saan magpa-park? Lalo na pag wala kang driver, di ba? Saan magpa-park? At kahit na may driver ka, paikot-ikot yung sakyan mo. Go ahead, sir.
Tama yun po. And even right now, sa pag-decide natin kung saang mall pupunta, ang primary na consideration, saan madali mag-park. So, di ba? Parang very important yung parking. But yun nga, rest assured na we're trying to do something about it. And it's a really pressing concern na which has our full attention. No? Kasi talagang we really want Intramuros to thrive and we don't want to sink just because walang parking.
And ako din, Vibs, gusto kong din tanong si Sir Rancho dahil interestingly, ang Intramuros ay filled by ruins, yung mga buildings na intact pa naman pero hindi ginagamit dahil ruins siya. Pero interestingly, may mga development in restoring these ruins into functional buildings. Kumusta ang mga effort na ito, Sir Rancho, pagdating sa mga bagay na iyan? Kasi, di ba yung ating National Treasury, yung katabi ng Manila Cathedral ay naging functional na. Before, hindi parang ruins lang yan, hindi ba? And dito malapit sa immigration, may ruins din dyan na ngayon ay, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, merong development, inaayos na siya. Ano yung ating, anong status niyan at ano yung development niyan?
Good news po kasi ongoing yung restoration ng Intendensya. Ito po yung ruins na ito, ang tawag natin ito Intendensya. Ngayon, ito yung magiging bagong National Archives in the future. So hopefully, soon, mag-open na siya. Pero the progress of construction is promising. So makikita talaga natin na may progress talaga siya every day.
Yeah. Okay. So,
and mga events naman, sir. May mga events ba kayo, in a few months or malapit ng sa mga students, di ba?
Yes. So we have regular events, lalo na right now on the National Heritage Month. Heritage Month. So to be updated sa mga events, make sure lang to go to our social media channels kasi nandun po lahat ng mga ating mga events.
Yeah. Paano kayo ma-access Sir Rancho? Ano yung inyong social media handles and
yes.
names?
So we are available in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So Intramuros Administration. Make sure to follow din. And then meron din kami Viber community. So yung details ng Viber community nandun din po sa Facebook. So nandun po yung mga events, ano yung mga partnerships natin na yun, ano yung mga future development. So we're very active online.
Oh, ayan. So
At
sa ating mga
welcome naman yung mga private sectors to to create an event dito sa mga lugar na ito. It's pwede po sila.
Yes po. Actually, we encourage the private sector to partner with us sa Intramuros Administration kasi kami, we can provide the venue for free. So,
wow, for free po? For free?
Yes, yung for Santiago, Baluarte de San Diego.
Monch, pwede tayo mag-event. Okay, good.
Pero wait lang po, merong catch. No, may
may catch, okay.
Kailangan yung activity na yan is open to, as much as possible, open to the public. And of course, ang main intention is to promote Intramuros. Yun talaga.
Okay.
Kasi ibang usapan na pag wedding yan, di ba?
Private yan eh. Paano kung may mga play, di ba, Monch? Pwede tayo yung mga play.
Mga play or actually, rin Sir Rancho, yung mga movie outfits na gusto mag-shoot bilang location. No? Yes. International and local.
Yes. We have, for example, an ongoing partnership with the Sorok Film Festival. So meron kaming film showing later this year. We've been doing that for 4 or 5 years na, I think. And then merong mga other mga film showing. And then of course, pwede ang place. Kaso nga lang, open air mga play.
Yeah. Yung outdoor cinema also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Diba?
Well, actually, that's part naman of the point. You experience the alfresco atmosphere.
Diba? Kasi where can you get a place like that na talagang at least maluwag pa, walang obstruction or anything like that because of how it is made. Hopefully sana magkaroon talaga ng mga maraming events and because that's yun nga, sabi naman ni Sir, nag-promise naman siya that priority nila yung kanilang parking. Okay.
And yes, and actually since we're talking about a local community, Manila, for this episode, it also helps then makatulong yung interagency coordination and support ng ating government dahil yung Intramuros Administration and yung Manileños for Heritage, kahit NGO siya, meron kasing memorandum ang Department of Interior and Local Government enjoining local communities to put up cultural councils and preserve their local heritage. So baka makatulong yung DILG. I don't know, guys, if you've been coordinating with the DILG already para sa pag-implement ng memorandum na iyon dahil may budget, di ba, yung local government para sa kultura and maganda sana na nagagamit natin yan para sa promotion ng iba't ibang communities kagaya ng Manila.
Yes. All right. So maybe we can ask for Stephen first and then see Sir Rancho for some final words and maybe baka meron kayong mga events that you want to promote.
Oh yeah, thank you. First of all, to Ms. Vivian, to Monch for inviting us dito sa show nyo. It's a great opportunity to also speak about Manileños for Heritage. So siguro what I can invite the listeners here is if you're from the city of Manila or if you love the city of Manila, you can be part of the organization so that you can also be part of the parang efforts. Parang ito yung mas more serious note. Parang you can be part of it if you want, if you really love Manila. Kasi it's about time that we give Manila that chance na maging best practices pagdating sa ating pag-preserve ng heritage natin. So we look for people, residents of Paco, Malate, Ermita,
Pero
Santalo.
Stephen, kailangan ba Manileño? Kailangan Manileño?
Pwede rin hindi. That's a good question.
Okay.
If you are a lover of Manila and even not from the city of Manila, if you feel like you want to still be involved, we can still be part of Manileños for Heritage.
Okay.
Yun. Alongside those that I was mentioning earlier, if you're also a resident, parang we can equip and empower each other, and let's have a strong support system para talagang ma-advocate natin, ma-protect din natin yung heritage within our area, and ma-share natin kung yung kwento na meron kayo sa mga heritage sites na yun. Importante.
Yes.
So you can follow us on Facebook primarily, and there's also a registration form if you want to be a member right away. Para it's for free naman. Walang bayad yung pagiging volunteer at pagiging member for Manileños Heritage. Again, maraming salamat po sa opportunity.
Mag-volunteer na tayo, Monj.
Para na. Yes.
Kasali ako dyan. Mahal ko ang Manila. At si Sir Rancho?
Thank you so much po for Ma'am Vivian and Sir Raymond for giving me an opportunity to share po Intramuros, and I hope in this way na I am able to promote Intramuros. Now I encourage and I invite everyone to visit our sites in Intramuros. Ngayon, Intramuros is special. Ngayon, if you wish to pass time, siguro you can go to a mall or you can go to some other areas. Pero if you wish to make memories, go here in Intramuros, bring your friends, bring your families, and dahil ngayon na Mother's Day, no? Happy Mother's Day sa lahat. No? Dalhin niyo ang inyong mga ina o mamasyal dito sa Intramuros po. We still have time po. Ang Fort Santiago magsasara 11 p.m. So, pwede pa pong bumisita na yon. At marami pong mga kainan dito. Meron tayong Barbaras, Ilustrados, etc. Pwede po kayo dito na yung Mother's Day.
Okay, maraming salamat sa ating guest at even if it's a Mother's Day, talaga namang yung kanilang advocacy and their, of course, their career, yung kanilang ang kanilang, should I say, yung talagang passion. Kasi, it cannot, hindi naman Monj pwedeng trabaho lang, di ba? I'm sure they love what they're doing, no? And thank you so much. Monj?
Yes, that's right. And kaya maraming salamat sa inyo mga aming giling na guests, ano? And mga ka-chitchat, abangan niyo ulit kami next Sunday, 5 p.m. dito lamang sa DZRJ Radio Bandido for another insightful episode. Ito po si Raymond Diamzon, nagpapasalamat at nag-iiwan ng magandang gabi sa inyong lahat at maligayang buwan ng pamana.
Okay, at ako naman po si Vivian Velez, laging magsisilbi para maghatid ng kwentong kapupulutan ng aral, aliw at pag-asa para sa inyo, para sa sining at para sa bayan. At have a wonderful evening. Happy Mother's Day. Maraming salamat sa ating mga guests. Stay safe and see you next Sunday. Bye-bye.
The views and comments of the hosts and guests